before they passed the laws where you have to do your passport or immigration card. You know what I
Right.
mean? You literally just walk across the border.
Nice. Okay.
So I'm in Tijuana. I'm like in Revolution, right off Revolution, which is like the big party strip. I find a house that's like an apartment complex, and it's all a bunch of Americans that are living there, and they're all living there rent super cheap and working in San Diego, and they're just crossing the border. Like every morning in San Diego, if you look at the border, the line is wrapped around the ring because people live in Tijuana and work in San Diego because of the
Right.
cost of living. I find this house, this apartment complex, and the lady's like, "Oh, it'd be like $200." I'm thinking she's like $200 a week. She's like $200 a month. I'm like, "Oh, well, here, you know what I mean? No problem. Here's a couple months worth of rent." So I'm like hanging out, and I meet guys in there, and I'm like, "I got to get an ID." And you can start talking to people, and it doesn't take long to get an ID.
Right.
And
is this you're getting
a fake ID.
a fake? I know, but is it a U.S.
US
ID
US ID. Yeah.
from
yeah,
like
yeah.
a state?
Yeah,
What
just
state?
state, California.
Okay.
And so, he takes me to this little shop, a couple $100 later. He's like, "Yeah." He said, I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "This is good for you just have this for down here." He's like, "But if you try to cross the border with it, it's not going to work." You know what I mean? This is good for just here. I'm like, all right. He was working on getting me a really good one for I could use if I wanted to travel back and forth. Well, I'm there, man, for like 2 months. And I start noticing like the police are watching me more and more. And I start getting nervous because I'm hearing about all these Americans getting kidnapped, either cartel or whoever. And I'm like hanging out down there. I'm hanging out at the bar every night, and I'm spending money. I'm flashing money. I'm like, this is not good. Something's gonna happen. Either I'm gonna get kidnapped, we get robbed. You know what I mean? So I decide I'm gonna go back across the border. So I had my buddy just drive me back across the border, and I'm like, I gotta hope my ID. And I know I'm about to use my real ID. So I'm praying they don't actually run it. Because they run it, I'm done.
Right.
So like we go at like a busy kind of time, and we're just sitting there looking like, "Oh yeah, just came back from Mexico," and they just look at us like, "Go ahead, U.S. citizens, go ahead." And I got lucky.
Right.
I get across the border.